Out of 5 species in North America are at risk of extinction because of urbanization. Every time a city expands, it can slice habitats in half, trapping wildlife on isolated patches of land with nowhere to go. This process, called habitat fragmentation, is one of the leading causes of biodiversity loss and extinction. Current solutions require cities to create and deploy teams of specialists for months of fieldwork and analysis. Even then, the process remains ineffective, slow, costly, and inaccurate. Introducing Sustainify, a platform that helps cities expand responsibly. Sustainify deploys a drone-based survey system that captures high-resolution imagery and ecological data across the target area, then processes that data through our detection models directly on our platform. If a city wants to build a new neighborhood in Redmond, Washington, Sustainify analyzes the area and ranks expansion zones based on ecological impact. In this case, Zone A receives the highest compatibility score of 82. The platform provides mitigation cost estimates, identifies species present, and highlights those at risk. It also recommends strategies to reduce impact. Sustainify also designates red zones to avoid entirely, such as Bear Creek, where high metal levels and runoff already make expansion unsafe. Another thing that Sustainify does is identify existing ecological problems. For example, it flags Highway 520 as a major wildlife barrier, and it recommends constructing 3 targeted underpasses to restore connectivity. Here's the red ocean. Cities mainly choose between 2 options: hiring environmental consultants or relying on traditional GIS mapping and static habitat layers. Consultant is accurate, but it's expensive and slow, while GIS tools are cheaper and faster, but they're inaccurate. Sustainify has 3 tiers of non-customers. The first tier, which is soon to be customers, are city governments and developers who actively use other solutions while planning to minimize ecological harm. The second tier, which is refusing non-customers, are developers and governments who recognize fragmentation risks but avoid using current solutions at a high cost or high time. The third tier, which is unexplored customers, are governments or developers that have never heard about the problems that they are creating due to their poor planning. Our solution eliminates costs for manual labor, complex reports that developers can't understand, manual counting and tracking of species, and low-quality recommendations for developers. We reduce the amount of time spent, the amount of money spent, the amount of inaccuracies, and the amount of experts needed. We raise data accuracy, coverage area, scalability, speed of decisions, confidence, and transparency. And we create our own scoring system for each zone, solutions for problem points, places to completely avoid, and budget-friendly options. The way our technology works is we first deploy a drone equipped with RGB multispectral and LiDAR sensors to capture high-resolution imagery and data. We run 4 detection models in parallel then: the barrier net, canopy net, edge net, and density model. These outputs generate segmentation layers used in our habitat graph. We convert habitat patches into graph nodes and corridors into weighted edges, where edge weights are calculated using canopy continuity, terrain feasibility, and species tolerance coefficients. Our connectivity index measures the fraction of reachable habitat under different building scenarios. So overall, all of our technology is feasible since we've already built the machine learning models and we can deploy them directly through our drone system to generate real ecological insights. The market for predictive environmental planning is growing rapidly. Between 2026 and 2030, expands from approximately 8 billion to over 25 billion. This growth is driven by increased urbanization and stricter environmental regulations. Yet today, cities often pay up to $500K for consulting studies or $50K for GIS analysis. While on the other hand, Sustainify delivers predictive ecological simulation for just $12,000 per project. These projections show our expected revenue and profit from year 1 to year 5. Revenue scales as we expand into more cities and increase project volume, reaching over $5 million annually by year 5. What's important is that the profit grows even faster relative to revenue because our technology becomes even more efficient over time, allowing us to generate significantly higher profit margins as we scale. This is our 2B strategy canvas, which is the green line. Sustainify dramatically lowers price and field work while raising prediction, scale, clarity, and usability. Instead of forcing cities to choose between speed and depth, we combine high analytical performance with affordability, creating a new value curve that competitors simply do not offer. We are currently applying for environmental innovation grants and filing patents to protect our core optimization and connectivity modeling framework. Urban expansion is inevitable, but ecological collapse isn't. Sustainify gives cities a smarter path forward. We invite you to join us in redefining how the world grows, responsibly, intelligently, and sustainably.